I'm Manoel Neto. I'm now a CTO at Kokku and been working here for 10 years now. Started as a programmer and then was invited to become a partner in the company. I started games in 2002, so 22 years, going to 23 now. Me and other three friends, I was invited to join them, and they were making this small company to start. We started doing some 3D work like virtual walkthroughs for university. I was a programmer, they did the art and sound, and we worked for, I think it was about 6 months to make our first game. It was crazy stuff. We started like in a room inside an university, and then we hired more people. We started making more of these games. We moved to different engine. That's when I got in touch with C++, started doing more low-level stuff. I started my video game industry career in Recife and managed to stay here. A friend of mine that was working with at Kokku, they were after programmers. That's how I ended up there. Learned a lot of my career. I was like a sole programmer, and on very small teams, so everyone had to do a bit of everything. For example, in our first games, I actually draw concept art. So I did like concept art. I had to do textures, do some of the art, fix some animations, and have to touch all parts of development. And that helped me see products from start to finish, and it helped me grow this insight and different things that make a project together. Starting a project is something that isn't that hard, but seeing a project to the end and actually getting it delivered and ship it to players, the end users, it's something that is an experience that I think everyone should go through at some point. It really changes your perspective on things. We do the bread and butter, let's say, in the industry, which is we work with Unity and Unreal. It's especially because it's a lot easier to find professionals that have experience with Unity because it's really popular, and we also do a lot of Unreal work, and we do this thing where we take people who are only Unity experience and throw them in Unreal projects so they can broaden their horizon and learn new techniques. We've been doing some really cool projects with actual low-level engine development and porting games made on custom engines from old platforms to new platforms, and it's really great to see the entire team learning, growing with this knowledge, and even if they have to learn while doing it, they're doing like an amazing job. Yeah, we're always on the lookout for new things, and we need to learn all the time how to work smarter instead of having to work harder, because that's what makes the difference when you need to deliver something. Like, how can you make a tedious piece of work easier, or how you can take certain kind of work and scale it up for more assets. And this is something that I like to teach to the rest of the teams. I like to stimulate the team to go after this kind of stuff. Try to, instead of doing this like 100 times, how about you do something to do that less times for you? I always try to think in terms of systems instead of just individual tasks, individual things that must be done. We see a lot of demand for new graphical technologies like Unreal Engine 5, and there's a growing demand for studios who are on top of the new features that that's constantly working on, which now we are deep in the 9th console generation, and people want to work on games with ray tracing and innovative graphical effects. And we have some projects where we're taking games with using old rendering techniques and applying new techniques to bring the games to modern visuals. I think that's one place where we're heading to. We're expanding a lot into our C++ experience. C++ rendering, working at low-level engines, modifying engines, like this kind of more high-level job, high-profile job, instead of just using pre-existing engines like Unity and Unreal. It's something that's part of the market that is really in high demand. Especially there are a lot of companies that have games for other platforms or older platforms, and they're done in non-standard engines or custom engines or engines that are no longer in production, and they need this kind of knowledge. It's something that's just, there isn't enough people in the world that can do this kind of stuff, and this is the direction we're moving towards. Most excited bit about like this work with porting and optimization and co-development to other teams. It's really interesting, bringing this extra help and extra know-how to teams that need help to bring their game to market in more efficient ways. It's something that I think is very exciting. It fits with our expertise, and it fits with the kind of expertise we are aiming for. Like, make sure the people are empowered to feel free to think solutions and think outside the box, and instead of just following a set of instructions. So instead of waiting and being told what to do, they can have freedom to go after solutions to the problems they're facing. That's something that I think is most important. So we need to give people freedom to express their ideas, give suggestions, and complain, and tell us when they're happy or unhappy or what they think about things. We need to keep this culture of there are no stupid questions. So people need this openness to express themselves. Having their sister companies with their own expertise and sharing information with each other, this helps a lot in covering for each one's weaknesses and putting our strength together to do projects that we wouldn't be able to do alone. Having access to this larger pool of knowledge and skills is really great, and also being able not just to acquire skill but also share skill with other companies, especially because we are working with companies from countries like Brazil and Argentina. We always had this extra hurdle to get into the market, and I think it's amazing that we can help each other to find our own place in the video games market.